Ciao, sono Anna e questo è My Italian Circle. What is the secret to a good understanding of Italian? And I mean everyday Italian spoken by people on the street or at home.
E chi se lo scorda? Mi piace.
Mi piace.
A te ti piace, a me mi piace.
You have studied Italian for some time on textbooks. Maybe you have watched many videos to improve your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary. But somehow something still doesn't match. When you talk to Italians or watch Italian films, people speak differently, and the grammar they use is not exactly what you expected. Well, welcome to the jolly world of everyday Italian. L'italiano neo-standard, or everyday Italian. It's a fact. Languages have different registers, which means that if you attend a conference, for example, you are likely to hear a beautiful, very correct, high-level language. While if you drop by the pub on the corner on a football night, well, the Italian you'll hear is not exactly academic. And yet they're both important. They are simply different expressions of the same language. Obviously, in real everyday life, we don't use academic Italian. We use a simplified version of the so-called standard Italian. You know, just to make communication easier. This everyday language is called by grammarians Italiano neo-standard. And that is your key to understanding Italians and expressing yourself in real Italian. Let's see together a few of its most common features, but be aware that there are many more. Passato e presente. Good news! In everyday Italian, the verbal system is simplified. For example, to talk about a finished action in the past with no relation to the present, in standard Italian we use de passato remoto. Mio nonno combatté sul fronte occidentale. To talk about a past action which we feel still related to the present, we use de passato prossimo. Ho comprato un'auto nuova. Easy, right? It's quite similar to the English system. Actually, it's even easier than that, because in everyday Italian, we tend to always use the passato prossimo, especially in the north. So, my tip is, if you're having troubles with a tense system and you want to sound natural, stick to passato prossimo. Ho mangiato. Ho visto. Sono andato. Siamo arrivati, and so on. Good news number 2 is, in everyday Italian we actually use the present to talk about the future. We just add a future time reference, such as domani, fra 10 minuti, il mese prossimo. Domani andiamo al lago. La settimana prossima inizio il corso di fotografia. Of course, in standard Italian we should say domani andremo al lago. La settimana prossima inizierò il corso di fotografia. But in everyday Italian you don't need that, just use the present. We have covered the use of past and present in the video up here or down below, check it out. Se lo sapevo, non venivo.
Se me lo dicevi prima, ormai.
Ma io ci sono andato per Consuelo, la commessa, quella
Quella è la mia ragazza.
pure la tua. Se me lo dicevi prima, ormai.
Another common feature of spoken everyday Italian is the simplification of past and real conditionals. If I had studied more, I would have passed the test. Incorrect standard Italian is se avessi studiato di più, avrei superato l'esame. In everyday Italian, life can be easier than that. We simply use the imperfetto. Se studiavo di più, passavo l'esame. Se lo sapevo prima, non ti dicevo niente. Please note that, while this simplified structure is very common, it's still perceived as incorrect by the majority of speakers, who might use it anyway, even without realizing that. So, don't be surprised if you hear it a lot. My advice is to still try and learn the correct form. Then you can decide whether to skip it or not. Egli o lui? In standard Italian, subject pronouns are as follows: io, tu, egli, ella, esso, noi, voi, essi. The truth is that nowadays nobody uses egli, ella, esso, and essi. Esso refer to things has been abandoned, while egli, ella, and essi have been replaced by lui, lei, loro, which are actually object pronouns. So, instead of saying ella è felice, people normally say lei è felice. And of course, as I keep reminding, most of the times you can drop pronouns completely. A me, mi.
A te ti piace, a me piace.
You might have heard the pronouns a me, mi altogether. For example, in the sentence a me mi piace. Mi is the same as a me, so this is an unnecessary repetition. The correct form is a me piace or mi piace. When these pronouns are not consecutive, the repetition is less awkward. For example, a me questa situazione non mi piace. It's still incorrect, but it's more acceptable. Facciamo presto che è tardi. Another common feature of spoken Italian is the excessive use of the word che, which. Some uses are acceptable, while some others should be avoided. In standard Italian, we use che as who or which. La ragazza che mi ha aiutato. Il pittore che ha dipinto il quadro. In spoken Italian, che can have other meanings. For example, because. Facciamo presto che è tardi. Here it is actually short for perché. While. Ho visto Carlo che parlava con Lucia. When. Ci sono notti che non si dorme. These are commonly used and acceptable. What is not acceptable is the following. Una città che ci piove sempre. It should be una città in cui piove sempre. Or una città dove piove sempre. Il cassetto che ci ho messo i documenti. Should be il cassetto in cui ho messo i documenti. Here che together with ci means in cui or dove, where. You might hear this construction a lot, but please don't use it. It sounds very awkward. Use dove instead. There's much more to say about Neo-Standard Italian, such as the use of subjunctive and the use of particles ci and ne. But we'll talk extensively about these topics in specific videos. In a nutshell, in formal settings we should speak correct standard Italian, more suitable to a formal context, such as work or university. With family and friends instead, we speak a simplified Italian. Some of its features are now widely accepted, while some others are not. My advice is to understand and, why not, use those common structures, because they make you sound more natural. But remember, not too much, or your Italian will sound wrong. I hope this lesson gave you the insight you needed to fortify your Italian and to feel more confident when you speak. If the answer is yes, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Basta, adesso vado che è tardi.